A strong and motivated man is a nuisance to an army of failures.
You believe your choices are your own. You believe that if you work hard, if you are a decent person, the world will reward you. You follow the script. Be moral. Be harmless. Wait your turn. Yet you see opportunities pass you by. You watch promotions go to the less deserving, the more political, the ones who operate by a different set of rules entirely. Your ideas are ignored in meetings, only to be praised when repeated by someone else minutes later. You are playing a game where you don't even know the rules, and you are losing. 500 years ago, a man named Niccolo Machiavelli wrote down a truth so cold and so undeniable that history has tried to ban his work. He didn't write about how the world should be. He wrote about how it is. He understood that human nature is not driven by morality. It is driven by power, fear, and self-interest. If you ignore these forces, you become their victim. If you understand them, you become their architect. Today, we dismantle the illusion. We are going to walk through the 7 Machiavellian laws that are secretly controlling your life. These are not tips. These are the operating system of human hierarchy. By the end of this, you will have a choice. Continue to be the pawn moved by invisible hands, or see the board and become the player. A warning: once you see these laws, you cannot unsee them. Law 1. The economics of presence. Your availability erodes your value. The first law is the foundation of all value, and it is the one you violate every single day. Respect is not a product of your generosity. It is a product of your scarcity. You think that to be valued, you must be present, and you must answer the text immediately, pick up the extra shift, and offer your energy the moment it is requested. You think this makes you reliable. You think this makes you good. It does not. It makes you cheap. Basic economics rules the human soul. Water is essential for life, yet it is nearly free because it flows from every tap. Diamonds are functionally useless, yet they are worshipped because they are hidden, rare, and difficult to obtain. When you are always available, you become water. You are taken for granted. And when the tap runs dry, people don't feel gratitude for what they had. They feel anger that the service has stopped. Machiavelli noted that the prince who is seen too often becomes ordinary. Look at your own life. Who holds the power? The person who texts back instantly with paragraphs of reassurance, or the one who takes hours, whose validation feels earned, whose attention feels like a spotlight that could turn away at any moment? The human brain is wired to chase what retreats. To master this law, you must practice strategic absence. This is not about playing games. It is about understanding the weight of your own existence. Stop distributing yourself like free flyers. Start rationing your presence like gold. Let non-urgent emails sit. Decline meetings without a clear agenda. When you withdraw, you create a void. People will rush to fill that space with their attention and their curiosity. Your silence becomes more powerful than your words. Start today. Withdraw 20% of your availability. Watch how the room leans in. You are not being cruel, and you are teaching them the value of what you offer by showing them the possibility of its loss. Law 2. The law of utility. Being needed trumps being loved. The second law explains why you are so often discarded. Most people try to be loved. They try to be the hero who saves the day. They give, they fix, they heal. And then, once the job is done, the hero is forgotten. Why? Because the hero is no longer needed. Love is volatile. Affection changes with the wind. But need is primal. Need is permanent. Safety is not found in being liked. Safety is found in being essential. A wise prince, Machiavelli wrote, ensures his subjects always have need of him. In your career, stop trying to be the most popular person in the office. The employee who is loved but replaceable is the first to be fired. Become the sole provider of a critical solution. Identify a skill gap that no one else can fill. Master it. Make it so that if you leave, the building shakes. When layoffs are discussed, the question is not, who do we like? It's, who can we not afford to lose? In relationships, this is more subtle. Be the only one who truly understands their darkest ambition. Be the only one who can calm their specific anxiety. Be the source of a clarity they cannot find anywhere else. When you become the source of their stability, they cannot afford to lose you. A person will leave someone they love for someone they need, but they will rarely leave someone they need for someone they simply love. Stop trying to convince people you are a good person. Good people are disposable. Convince them through your competence that you are the oxygen in the room. This is the difference between being an accessory and being a necessity. Accessories are swapped. Necessities are guarded. Law 3. The fog of war. Reveal your plans at your peril. The third law is where most honest people destroy themselves. You have been taught that transparency is a virtue. You announce your goals to the world. I'm going to start a business. I'm going to get that promotion. And what happens? You gave away your power. A declared intention is a weapon you have handed to your enemy. When you reveal your plans, 3 things weaken you. First, you trigger a premature dopamine reward. Your brain gets a taste of success from the praise, and you lose the hunger to execute. Second, you invite sabotage. Your ambition holds a mirror up to the mediocrity of those around you. They will not clap for you. They will subconsciously try to trip you. They will plant doubt. Third, and most Machiavellian, you become predictable. And predictability is death. If they know what you want, they know how to manipulate you. You must become a closed book. Machiavelli advised that a ruler must never let his court know which side he is on until the victor is decided. Let your actions be the only announcement you ever make. There is a terrifying power in the person who does not speak. When you are silent in a meeting, people project their own fears and hopes onto you, revealing everything about themselves while you reveal nothing. Use decoy goals. If you want power, pretend you only want stability. By the time they realize your true intention, it must be too late for them to stop it. Do not be the dog that barks, warning the intruder to run, and be the viper in the grass, silent and still, striking only when the distance is closed. Law 4. The law of emotional asymmetry. The one who cares least controls. This law governs every negotiation and relationship you will ever have. It is the brutal truth of human connection. The person who cares least holds the power. This is the principle of least interest. You are likely suffering because you are the one with the heavy hand. You invest more emotion, more worry, more analysis into the bond. This anxiety is a stench of weakness, and subconsciously it repulses people. When you overinvest, you place the other person on a pedestal, and from that height, they can only look down on you. You signal that you will stay no matter what. You have made yourself cheap. To regain control, you must cultivate the ability to detach. This does not mean you stop loving. It means you find a center of gravity inside yourself that does not depend on anyone else. When they pull back, you do not chase. You stand still. You let them feel the consequence of their distance. When you stop chasing, the dynamic flips. Suddenly, they are the ones facing the void. Here is the dark paradox. People are drawn to those who do not need them. If you make someone the center of your universe, they will eventually leave. But if you are your own universe, complete, self-sustaining, they will orbit you. you must be willing to lose the relationship in order to keep it. The moment you are truly ready to walk away, you become dangerous. You become the one who sets the terms. Law 5. The surgeon's knife. Unbounded kindness is a cruelty. This law is where your kindness causes the most damage. Machiavelli wrote, "Injuries ought to be done all at one time, so that being tasted less, they offend less. Benefits ought to be given little by little, so that the flavor of them may last longer." Most people do the exact opposite. When you must deliver bad news, fire an employee, end a relationship, cut off a toxic friend, you hesitate. You soften the blow. You drag it out. You think you are being gentle. You are not. You are being a torturer. By dragging out the conflict, you are cutting off the dog's tail 1 inch at a time. You keep the wound open, ensuring the pain lasts for years instead of days. The Machiavellian mindset requires you to think like a surgeon. If a limb is gangrenous, you do not massage it. You amputate. You do it with one clean, brutal strike. It is shocking, it is agonizing, but it is final. And because it is final, healing can begin. In your life, identify the rot. Is it a relationship that is dead but still walking? Is it a person who disrespects you repeatedly? Do not negotiate with rot. Strike once, strike hard, and never look back. People respect a clean executioner. They despise a clumsy one. The person who breaks up with you clearly and cuts contact offers you the dignity of closure. The person who ghosts and then comes back is trapping you in a prison of hope. Do not be the jailer. Be the executioner. It is the only form of mercy that matters. Law 6. The law of visibility. Obscurity is oblivion. You have been raised with a modest lie. Your work should speak for itself. The reality? The world does not reward the best idea. It rewards the best marketed idea. We are creatures of the surface. We judge competence by confidence and authority by posture. If you are hiding your light because you believe virtue is its own reward, you will die in the dark. What is unseen counts for nothing. Power is a performance art. You must control the optical illusion of your life. Look at the quiet, diligent employee. They keep their head down and wait to be noticed. They are bypassed by the person who does half the work but knows how to present it with flair. The decision makers are not biased. They are human. They promote the person whose value they can see. You must learn to create a spectacle. This doesn't mean being loud. It means standing out by being different from the noise around you. If everyone is shouting, your spectacle is silence. If everyone is panicking, your spectacle is terrifying calm. You must become conscious of your brand. Every time you leave your home, you step onto a stage. Lift your chin. Slow down your movements. Powerful people do not rush. When you speak, do not use filler words. Do not say, "I'm sorry, can I just ask?" Say, "I have a question." The difference is the space between asking for permission and taking what is yours. If you do not define your image, your enemies will define it for you. They will not be kind. Law 7. The master's tempo. Timing is everything. The final law binds them all. It is the mastery of time. The amateur is always in a hurry. They are frantic, reacting to emails, to insults, to the clock. Hurry betrays a lack of control. Machiavelli spoke of fortuna, luck, a violent river you cannot control, and virtu, skill, which is knowing when to put your boat in the water. A patience is not a virtue, it is a weapon. Most of your mistakes came from impatience. You sent the angry text too soon. You took the first offer because you were scared. You quit just before the breakthrough. To become a master, you must step outside the frantic ticking of the clock. When someone insults you, The instinct is to snap back. The master waits. He lets the silence stretch until it becomes a weapon. By waiting, he signals he is not a slave to another's provocation. Observe the lion. It does not chase every gazelle. It lies in the grass. It watches. It conserves energy. It waits for the one moment where the prey is vulnerable and the wind is right. And then, it strikes all at once. Stop trying to force the harvest. Analyze the cycles of your life. There are times to be aggressive and times to retreat. If you attack when you should retreat, you will be destroyed. If you retreat when you should attack, you will miss the throne. Control time, and you control the outcome. For too long, you have been playing a game where you didn't know the rules. Scarcity, utility, concealment, asymmetry, the surgeon's knife, visibility, and tempo. These laws are not a call to become cruel. They are a map of the world as it is. To understand these laws is to stop begging life to be fair and to start engineering outcomes. Society needs sheep, predictable, harmless, and easy to shear. But you feel something different. That is why you are still here. To apply these laws is to step out of the herd. You might be called cold, calculating, Machiavellian. Wear those titles like armor. The alternative is to remain a victim. The world is divided into those who play the game and those who are played. There is no third option. When you start applying these laws, your reality will shift. People will respect you more, but they will understand you less. It is a lonely path, but it is the only path that leads to sovereignty. Knowing the laws is not enough. Information without execution is mental masturbation. The real test is in the application. In that split second when you want to answer the text, but you don't. When you want to announce your plans, but you keep your mouth shut. That is where the war is won. In the silence, in the restraint. Are you most people? Or are you ready to see how deep the rabbit hole goes?